system hit him, cause when you feel it in your soul, it's the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, knock the way, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the maze. We never suffer fools, had enough of you.
We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 and the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway in Southern California. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. Herbert on the first play wants to pass it to the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Open man is Palmer. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
From the 50, here's Herbert. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there, and you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Pickett. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Got his man. It's caught. Steelers touchdown. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Rose. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Steelers 7, Chargers 0.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Pickett. There goes a deep ball. End zone. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Chargers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. There to stop him, Terrell Edmunds.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He's got Hurst, his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. Down to about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Myles Jack can just flat out cover. It doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletions. They're going for more.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
There he goes, right side. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 14-0.
Steelers 14, Chargers 0. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw here on target to Hurst. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And for the third time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Off play action, Pickett. He's got this to Pickens. Touchdown! George Pickens. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers are looking good here in the season openers. They're able to extend their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Steelers 21, Chargers nothing.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 10. Here's Herbert once more. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's Austin. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Again, it's Harris on second down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Fielded just inside the 20. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He finds his man, complete. It's Rose. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Herbert throwing again. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. Touchdown, Chargers! Austin Eckler. He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Chargers are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
First down, and they go back to Harris. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down and 4, Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
On second down, this is Harris. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. He's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Pickett setting up the screen. Harris. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Boswell's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Charger drive about to get going. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. He's got his big tight end. From the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Herbert off of play action. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Now it's Herbert. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They hand this off to Harris. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 16. A gain there of 21 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
George Pickens, the intended target.
And now it's 2nd down.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
A great play there with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw here, Herbert.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This offense so far on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 41.
That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
114 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On the give, this is Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On the draw, it's Harris. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Pickett able to find his man. It's Pickens.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 23. 14 yards that time for number 14.
And the Steelers' 1st down.
A give to Harris.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 7 from the 20. This is Harris. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Eckler, they run left side. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is down to 24.
Makes the score Steelers 38, Chargers 14.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. A little extra excitement for week 1, and one of our early window games here in week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. We know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going